Hello there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from artery.com. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but because a bit of it involves fussy cutting, I've been kind of putting it off a little bit. But I thought, why not? So you've probably heard about masking. When I first started out in crafting, which wasn't that long ago really, I didn't know what masking was. In case you're new like me, it basically involves just masking off or covering a part of your card or your project that you don't want to have any colour on for the time being. I'll explain what I mean. So the cheapest way to mask off your card project or portions of your card project is to use freezer paper. So I'm not going to go into great detail about this because I do have a full video on using freezer paper to mask off parts of your project. I will leave a link to that in the description, but suffice to say I will be using dedicated masking paper, and whatever you can do with a masking paper you can do with a freezer paper. The only difference is with freezer paper, when you've cut it out what you want to use as a mask, you iron it onto your project and you do your business, and then you can just peel it off at the end, and it's brilliant. I absolutely love using this method. Cheap and cheerful. Or if like me you struggle with fussy cutting, I bought these, the Tim Holtz mini recoil snips. They're excellent. Keep that on because I'm very clumsy and I'm about to do myself a mischief. So what you do, it's got a little latch there, if you can see that. You move that and it springs open. So instead of you cutting like that, you cut like that. I'll show you one here. And I found this easier for fussy cutting. I will never find it easy, but this makes it easier, which to me is a good thing. But please don't go out and spend a load of money that you don't need to spend. Just use whatever scissors you feel comfortable with. Even if it's just a pair of nail scissors, even if it's a whopping great pair from the kitchen, just use whatever you feel comfortable with. Here we have masking fluid, we have low tack tape, and where on earth is it? And there's a masking fluid marker pen, which I've never even tried yet. So I'm going to show you first the masking fluid. I have to say first of all, I thought this would be my preferred way to mask, but it actually isn't. But never mind. You stamp your image. I mean, pretend this is stamped properly. Then you've got your, this is Nouveau masking fluid, temporary covers detailed areas. So all you basically do, it's got a little opening there at the top. You just paint it on. I'm just going to do this quickly, but obviously you would take more time. And it takes a long time to dry. I always leave mine overnight. So there. Pretend you've done a really good job painting that on. So that's what it's like, and then you would just leave it on. So I've left that on. I've done a little bit of a blue background. In fact, I'll put a little bit more on because you can't really see that. But you just do your background stuff, whatever you want to do. And then this should peel off. This has probably been left on too long because I've had this set up for a long time now, but it should, that's it, there we go. It should just peel off. You can rub it off like that and it should all just come off. I should have made a darker background for it, but as you can see, you're left with your stamp and none of the background colour has gone onto the stamp. I should have made it darker so you could see it. But that, I thought that would be my preferred way, but like I said, it isn't, because it takes a long time because you have to leave it for a long time to dry. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I imagine at least overnight. And along the same vein, you have your masking fluid marker, and you literally just draw with this. If I can get this open. Oh, hang on, it's still got the thingy on because I haven't opened it yet. Wow, that took some doing. Right, it's literally just a pen, and all you do is you just draw the pieces that you want to mark off, that you want to mask off. I've never really used this before, but what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description to a video that shows you how to use it, and it's with a really beautiful effect. Because like I said, I haven't really practiced with this, it's just something that I picked up along the way. Right, now we've got these flowers from, don't ask me where I got this because I have absolutely no idea where I got this, but that's the flower that I used anyway. So what I did, I'm not going to waste your time and mine by trying to fussy cut. So all I did, these are the Gina masking sheets, and they're absolutely fantastic. I love them. Hang on, I'll give you a better view of the front. They are quite pricey, to be honest, but they are the best out there. I think Gina does the best of everything. She really takes care to produce quality products, so I don't mind spending that little bit extra. So what I did is I stamped that flower onto some card and then cut it out, and that's what I sort of ended up with. Cut that out on the masking sheet, and then you peel off the back of the masking sheet. If I can just get this off. And the beauty about it is you can use it again and again, so we'll keep that. Where's my thing? So first of all, I'm going to stamp. I'm not going to use my stamping platform or anything, so if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I'm just going to use a small stamping acrylic block for this. It probably won't turn out right, but it's just to show you the process. Ideally I would use a stamping platform for this. So you'd stamp on there like that. Oh, that didn't turn out too badly. Right, this is a pigment ink, so it does need to dry. So to me this is the most complicated part of masking, is the fussy cutting, but once it's cut, you can, like I say, you can use it again and again. So where are we? Just place it on your little mask, place it on over the image. And that sticks down nicely. And then I'm going to stick a couple more like I have with that. Perhaps one there. And another one there. And then all you have to do is peel it off, and there. That's what the masking does. It allows you to put something behind the mask, so it looks as though, in this case, that the flowers are behind the front one, and I just think that's absolutely amazing. It's a really nice effect, and then you can colour them in how you like. I am not going to be making a card or anything, as I said. This is just to show you the process, and then put it back on again, ready for another use. So this masking paper of Gina K's, yes, it might be pricey, but you can use your masks over and over again, which I absolutely love. Now supposing you wanted a border around here, the easiest way to, well, the cheapest way to do it is to just use your masking tape. But the hardest part is trying to mask off, or trying to lay it down the same width all the way around. That's the only issue. But I'm just going to do this just to show you how to do it, and obviously you can take more care. You can use the grid to get your measurements right. I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to lay this down and show you how to do it. And I'm just going to lay some colour down. And the beauty about doing it this way is that the low tack tape holds it down for you, so it's not slipping all over the place. Just ignore my blending / colouring skills. That's not what this video is about, thankfully. Right, that'll do for that. And then you can just very carefully peel it off. So you get a nice border around just using your low tack tape, which is a cheap and simple way of doing it, as long as you get your measurements right so it doesn't go wonky at the side. So I quite like that. So another way you can do that is by cutting some masking paper into strips and putting those around, or again you could do it with your freezer paper. Just iron it on and then peel it off when you're finished. So Gina K also has masking magic strips, and they come in 3 different sizes: 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch. So you can get the perfect border all the way around. And again, these can be used over and over again. I think I have used these. I'm sure I have. But I will use, this must be the, what did I say, 1/2 inch. So you just peel them off and put them round, just being careful to get to the edge. And it lifts up easily without tearing your paper, which I just love. Right, what I should do is cut this in half, so I didn't have to cut all these fiddly bits, but hindsight is 20/20. Right, as you can see, that bit might be a little bit iffy, because like I said, I should have cut this in half and shown you without making it too difficult for myself, but never mind. But you can use these again, and obviously I would only use these if I was using the same colour, because I imagine that the colour would transfer onto the next piece, the next project, once you laid the strips down. You can see there where it's gone a little bit iffy. I didn't have them quite next to each other, but yeah, it's much easier when you use the strips. It is much easier to get the same width all the way around. Just ignore that. But you can do that, like I said, with cutting down. You could use your trimmer and cut down your freezer paper and do it that way, but this is a lot easier. And like I say, if I want to use that colour again, I can just put those away for next time. Right, so if you wanted to make, say, a woodland scene, you could stamp your little critters, stamp the same images onto masking paper, cut them out, put them over the little critters, and then you can do all your background scene, peel off your masking paper and then colour them in, and you don't have to worry about getting the background colour onto anything in the foreground. I have some beautiful stamps and dies of like air balloons, so if I want, I could stamp my balloon, put a mask over it, do all the background, the sky and the clouds and things like that, and then just peel it off and colour in my balloon, and it's perfect, really. It's great for that. And like I say, this is excellent technique for putting elements behind one another, like making a bunch of flowers like that. You could cut out several stamps. Say if I cut out 3 stamps, I could put the 3 on there, and then I could build up a bouquet. So you don't have to just stick to one, you can cut out as many as you like and then just colour them in, and that looks as though the flowers are behind one another, which I think is really cool. Like I say, you can use them for borders. You can also, if you wanted, Where's the rest of my scraps? You can also use them for putting patterns on your card. I'm just going to cut this down this time. Not very straight, of course. So you could use your masking strips. You could use your low tack tape. Just lay it down. Masking strips might be good for these because you can get them nice and thin. Obviously this isn't going to be perfect because I'm not measuring anything. And then start your colouring. Just be careful when you take off the low tack tape. So you can do stripy patterns, and if you wanted to, you could tape over the coloured parts, and then you could colour these bits in, so you could have like lots of different colours if you wanted to. So that's just a few ways to use masking when you're creating cards and other projects. Like I say, it's not something that I've particularly been interested in, but then I thought I would give it a go, and I realised, you know, this could be good for quite a few things. So if you're like me, don't be frightened to try anything new like me, because just because I find fussy cutting difficult, it's no reason for me not to try it. And that flower didn't turn out too badly, but I will leave a link to a fussy cutting video which shows you much better than I can how to do it. I'm not even going to show you my fussy cutting on camera because it probably won't go well, and it takes me a long time to do it. Well, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but I have seen masking used to create some nice effects like a sun. Right, so on the back of the masking paper there are cut pieces to make it easier to get off. Okay, I'm just going to give this a little go. Goodness knows what it's going to turn out like. Because I'm in a hurry, I've made a right mess of this, but never mind. And of course, with it being distress oxide, it will take a bit longer to dry, which seems to be why it's smudged everywhere. And then you just take off the mask and you're left with a nice moonlight scene there. That's just another way to use it. But like I say, if you were to use pretty sunset colours as well, you could get pretty much the same effect. So not perfect at all, but it's just to show you another thing that you can do using masks. You could do it to create stripy backgrounds, you can do it to create a border, you can do it to create a bouquet of flowers. I think that's a really nice one. I do like that idea. And of course you can use it to mask off the foreground while you create your background. So they're just a very few ideas. If you think of any more, please leave them in the comments. I always love reading your comments. Makes me day when somebody comments on my videos. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope this has helped. Like I say, if you have any more ideas, leave them in your comments. You can post on my blog, you can post on my Facebook group. Anything like that would be so welcome, because I'm just a beginner really. I haven't done a lot of masking. This is about it. So thank you so much for watching. As I said, I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.